Hey, what's going on YouTube? HyperDark19 here, bringing you another video in my Breaking the Meta segment, and this is my buddy.
I'm Galetta16, and today I'm going to show you a funky dragon deck.
Yeah, it's Disaster Dragons, and to be quite frank, it's one of the best decks I've ever seen.
It's
So,
disaster. It's Hopeless Dragon with a little bit of disaster.
alright, well,
The
get to it.
creature lineup you do is the main card you use is Darkness Metal Dragon.
Of
This is the meat
course.
and potato of the deck. You run 3 copies of him. You remove from play a dragon on the field, special summons him, and once per turn you can special summon a dragon from your hand or a grave. So you have a lot of options all the time. So you run 3 Darkness Metals.
And it's got 2,800 attack, so the thing's a friggin' beast.
It's chubby. Then you run 3 Mass Dragons, which are natural. And now this deck has a lot of variety, so you can do a lot of mixing and mingling to whatever you feel like.
Pretty pro search card.
There's a very good way to do draw power. The way I do it is with Whitestone. Whitestone's a 1-star tuner, very weak, doesn't do much. But if you play with Card of Consonance, you discard Whitestone, draw 2 cards, and then you also get a Blue Eyes to your hand. And so in that case, since I'm running 3 Whitestones, I run 3 Blue Eyes as well. That's the primary beater of the deck, excluding Synchros.
And I'm really impressed by how this draw engine works, actually, so.
And so
Definitely.
pretty much when you discard the Whitestone, Blue Eyes goes to your hand, and you also run trade-ins. If you also get a Blue Eyes into your hand, you play trade-in, you just made a 4 cards, actually a 8-card swing with very easy pieces. So those are all the 3 stars right there. Now on to the 2. Again, now you can do any variety you want. I do an only dragons engine, so that means I can run Totem Dragon. This card is pretty much your safety, your life jacket. Once he's in the grave, well, he counts as 2 tributes for any dragon, so even if you don't have Darkness Metal in your hand, you can still tribute him to play out Blue Eyes, or any other 2 tribute dragon monster, which you can have any choice of if you'd like. If you don't control any creatures on the field and you only have dragons in the grave, this little dude can be special summoned backed out.
Pretty boss.
You can remove him from play to special summon Darkness, and then special summon Blue Eyes or any other card you want. Only downside is once you use that effect, he's removed from play. But still, it helps you out like crazy.
Also, you gotta watch out for putting Synchros in the graveyard that aren't dragons, but.
Yes, but we'll reach that in a sec. Also, the next card I use 2 Debris Dragons. Obvious reasons. Totem Dragon, searchable, and also Whitestone. It can be special summoned with him. And once you play Debris Dragon, you can remove from play one of the other pieces. Special summon Darkness. Darkness special summons anything you want. Then you have pretty much anything you want for a Synchro.
However good you thought Debris Dragon was, it's better.
Red Eyes Wyvern. This card is an extra monster reborn for you. If he's in the grave and you have a Darkness Metal in the grave, you can remove this from play during your end phase to special summon Darkness Metal to the field. But the only downside to that is if you've normal summoned, you can't do it. So if you special summon Debris Dragon, remove from play, special summon Darkness, you can still do all that stuff and then still bring another Darkness Metal out to the field on your end phase. A little of an overextend, but that's fine.
Pretty good card.
I like to do a Synchro build for this one as well. You can either use Exploder Dragon or, my choice, Dread Dragons. 2-star Dragon Tuner, 11, 400. Yeah, 400. If he's destroyed in battle, you get a level 3 or lower Dragon type monster to your hand. So if you
Mass
have
Dragon,
Mass Dragon,
anything really.
But the best one I like to do is Whitestone. If I have Card of Consonance, do that, searches out Whitestone, draw some cards, get a +1. It gives you tons of options fast. Plus, with this guy, what I love to do is you can bring up Rheonic real easy with him. You play Wyvern, normal summon this, or like you special summon Wyvern with Darkness, normal summon this, or vice versa. Rheonic, bounce, 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 and you can do a whole lot of damage.
Annoys the heck out of me.
1-star creatures, these are my tech. The only non-dragon in the deck is Battle Fader.
Pretty good tech card.
Yeah, I love him. Random tech, yeah, if for those who like consistency, you're going to probably hate this build, but it has a great way for winning.
Yeah,
always.
not consistency. It's just, yeah,
it works.
Yeah,
it always works.
If you're a stickler for all dragons, then you might not like this. But I mean, it's a great tech card to be honest, because it doesn't go into the graveyard, it just gets removed from play afterwards, which is fine.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt you one bit. And then this is my card. Now you can use any 8-star dragon you want, Light and Darkness Dragon, Tyrant Dragon, Dark Horus, anything.
So what do you use?
I use Clear Vice Dragon, which I know none of you have ever heard of this card. Has built-in Honest anytime it attacks. It's !0, so it's not Mass Dragon searchable, and it pretty much kills anything. So if you're versing Lightsworn, you attack into something, they drop Honest. This guy gets the boost, then their Lightsworn gets the boost as well, and then you reboost because it's a mandatory effect.
Yeah, there's a whole book of rulings written on this guy, so you look it up before you play it.
And this card isn't too expensive because it's not very used. So if you're interested, look him up. It's a lot of explaining.
Definitely an awesome tech card.
Now on to the magics. Now I'm going to show you the one single card. This is the entire deck is built around Future Fusion.
Yeah, right there.
What you do, you play it for 5 God Dragon. So you need one of those, obviously. And then you send 5 cards to the grave. Typically, you send 2 Wyverns, a Totem Dragon, a Whitestone. When you do that, you get Blue Eyes to your hand and a Darkness Metal. That's my typical lineup.
Sounds pretty good.
So since the whole deck is lined up around Future Fusion, you run 2 Gold Sarks.
Obviously.
You can run 3 now, but it's kind of overkill, and a third one, like late game, doesn't help you at all. You'd rather have Dark Hole or anything else. Next, 2 Trade-In.
Draw engine.
2 Card of Consonants. If you
Don't
want
worry,
3,
Draw
you
Engine.
can use 3. I don't feel like it's necessary. Now the rest of this is all my tech. Since I do a synchro build, I run these. These are the staples: Mind Control,
Pretty good.
Dark Hole,
Obviously.
Monster Reborn, and Reasoning. Reasoning is great. If you don't really know what it is, look it up. But since you use a variety of levels of creatures in this deck, anytime you play it, you're almost always going to get the creature. Because if a person who's smart you're playing against, they're always going to say a 10-star creature because
Like
they don't
me.
want. Yeah, like him. He always wants to stop you from getting Darkness Metal. So if he says 10, I get Blue Eyes special summoned, or I can get a tuner. The only problem with this is every now and then you can get Battle Fader, which completely sucks.
Yeah, true.
But honestly, that's a very low probability.
I'm horribly unlucky with that card.
And then my techs, Card Destruction, cause almost everything you want. You use your graveyard as your second hand. Playing this only pluses you. You discard a Whitestone, you get a +1 right from it, and it always hurts your opponent. Almost always.
Pretty awesome.
Monster Reincarnation, you have tons of cards you want in the grave, so discards no hurt, and anything else you want back. This is also good if you run synchros that aren't dragons and you need them out of the grave. This can put them right back in your deck. You dump a Whitestone, a Totem Dragon, or a Wyvern. They're all pluses.
Great card.
Creature Swap, because you can use a Whitestone, trade it over, Mass Dragon, anything else. Very situational, but it always works for you. And Book of Moon, obvious reasons.
Staple.
Then the traps, this is very creature heavy and more magic, and so traps are always shy. We only use 5 trap cards. Magic Cylinders, Mirror Force, Call the Haunted,
Pretty much staples.
Solemn Judgment,
Again, staple.
and Torrential. I don't have any
Staple.
warnings, so if you have warnings, you can put them in. I always run this build for first round in tournaments. Second round, depending on what the deck is, if it's trap heavy, I usually slide out some of the traps or magic cards for 2 to 3 Royal Decrees.
Pretty good tech.
They're the best way to stop anything because everybody uses traps on every now and then. But since I'm only using 4, 5 traps, depending on what I'm doing, there's no problem having Decree playing the entire game.
And how's this deck working out for you?
I go to tournaments. I've gotten 3rd place as the highest, but you have so much variety with it. More than half the deck you can side out for whatever you want. There's multiple builds. And also since it's only dragons, or you want to try to keep dragons, the synchros you want for it.
Yeah, so
One-
what's in your extra deck?
The only 2 creatures that I want to have that are non are Cataster
Pretty
and
good card.
Brionic, for obvious reasons
Very
because
good.
they're totally righteous. Right now I'm using Android, which I want to get rid of for a Trishula or a Scrap Dragon if I had them, but right now it's not a bad substitute.
Yeah, we're poor. Get over it.
Yeah. 2 Iron Chains. Usually, as soon as you summon out Debris Dragon, you get Totem, easy 6-star, and it has to be a dragon, so Iron Chain's one of the best.
Pretty boss card.
25, so it can get over a lot of attacks. For 7s, we get to use the fun ones. Ancient Fairy Dragon.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You can side him out if you'd like. It all depends on what you're playing, because Gravekeepers, they all use the field spell. The new Fairy build, Destructor deck, they all use the field spell. So he can help you, and plus he's a good wall. And since you use a whole variety of creature levels for syncing, his other effect to help bring out another synchro monster, or bring out another creature to help synchro, there's no minus.
Also, Dragon Unities and Malefics use field spells, so you can just totally screw up all those decks.
Another fun synchro nobody really knows about, and it only comes ulti, so you're wondering what that is. Exploder Dragonwing. Can only
Righteous card.
use... Yeah, totally righteous. Can only use Dragon Tuner and non-tuners. But he's a 2400 beater, and he's got a great effect. If he decides to battle a creature who has equal or lower attack, he can destroy it instantly and do battle damage equal to that creature's attack.
Wins games.
So if you're using something that doesn't get battle damage, well, this is effect damage. Nobody uses anything to stop effect damage, so he's great. Natural 2 Black Roses, just you
Obviously,
need them.
staple.
2 Stardust. Typically, you don't go too high in the level 8 range. You more or less get anywhere from the 6 to 7s. 8 every now and then. Stardust.
Pretty staple.
Red Dragon. Now, if you want, I don't have a Scrap Dragon, but I think Red Dragon comes in handy more or less. So that's why I run him.
Staple in my opinion.
Now, this one is, everybody knows now because Dragunities, but Trident Dragian. He is so easy to bring out, and you get so many OTKs with this. You bring out Darkness Metal, special summon any level 8 Clear Vice or Blue Eyes, then normal summon Dread Dragon. Because you only need 1 tuner and 1 or more non-tuners. You only need 2 creatures to bring them out if you need. Blow up 2 other cards, get 2 more attacks, easy 9,000 damage. With this deck, and then naturally...
Trust me, I know.
5-head.
Trident Dragon wins games.
Yeah. And also, with this deck, since you're using huge beaters, not many decks can hold up to them. So whenever there's any opening for you to do damage, typically I do about 5,800 in 1 move. So that's more than half the life points, and that's excluding any damage from Solemn Judgment, Solemn Warnings, or any other card effects that they may use. So the deck is extremely powerful. And then if you're wondering about my tech cards...
I want to make it fast. We got 2 minutes.
Giant Trunade.
Pretty staple.
Exchange, because no one can see that coming.
Interesting choice.
2 Bottomless.
Pretty staple.
Exploder Dragon if you don't want to do Sinking.
Good card.
Threatening Roar.
Also good.
2 MSTs.
Staple.
I want a third. I'm using Curse Seal, the Forbidden Spell.
Stops a lot of decks.
Or Forbidden one. Stops almost everything, and it's totally not anticipated. And 3 Royal Decrees.
Pretty good side card.
So that's my deck. Any questions or comments, feel free to leave them on his wall, and I'll get back to you.
Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this deck, and until next time, rule the meta, don't let the meta rule you. Peace out, YouTube.